Então vambora.
Warning. Emergency recorder message detected. Transcription process engaged. Playback initiated.
Admiral Senna, we need to make the evacuation request.
That's my father he's addressing. He was here? Didn't think he'd have the guts to look those soldiers in the eye before blowing this place to pieces.
Admiral!
He just transformed. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe. Colonel, the troops that closed off the sewers after my evaluation, they're all in this facility.
Other than our casualties, yes, sir.
Good. Get them into defensive positions around the spaceport. No one leaves. I'll send ships as soon as possible.
Thank God. None of us wanted to go down swarmed by those things.
That won't be your fate, Colonel. You have my word.
Transcription complete. Physical copy available.
An invisible weapon.
Cadê a fi...
He knew about the Lazarus plant. Grab that recording. We should talk. Victus. He destroyed this place. Killed these people to keep what he knew about the Lazarus plant and the Terrormorphs and all this a secret. Didn't he? He saw the potential of the plant as a weapon and hid it away. He killed those people. Condemned this city to keep them from sharing what they might have seen. He was
a hero.
Wrong. I was a commander. I've been in tough situations, and nothing would ever make me feel that it's justified to sacrifice lives for the sake of keeping a secret.
He decided to sentence his own soldiers to death. What kind of commander is that? But I guess that's just another part of his sick legacy now. Only he didn't succeed. Now someone else knows about the Lazarus plant and is using it exactly how he feared. That's exactly right.
Vambora.
Kaiser, try it now.
Guys, your sample, it moved. I'd be real careful out there if I were you.
That doesn't sound good. Eyes peeled.
Eita, nós. Lá vem, véi.
We should make sure we're well. I'd be happy to carry a few things for you.
Tá bom. Ah, nem é saia, velho. Eu quero saia.
Next stop, Cassiopeia, I assume.
Vambora. Que trem brilhante ali? Não é nada, não. Dá pra entrar em alguma nave dessa? Pelo jeito, não. Vambora. Eita. Já vai estar aqui já. Vai estar bem aqui no meio do gelo aqui, velho. Quer ver? Ó. E é do grande. Eita! Meu Deus. Ai, Deus. Caraca. Meu Deus. Ah, sai da frente, robô. Ficou doido, velho. Ah, meu Deus, o robô fica na frente, velho. Cadê o doido? Ah, velho, esse robô deve estar me tirando, né, velho? Caraca.
Now just stash that sample with Kaiser and we're done. time to get the hell out of here. Percival,
We
you
should
should
make sure
unplug
we're well supplied.
and find
If you
some
have
help
any
to talk
gear you want me to haul,
privately.
Uh.
On it. See you soon.
next stop, Cassiopeia, I assume.
Ai, cara. Eu tenho que tomar remédio, velho. Que eu tô muito lascado, cara. Qual que eu mais tenho aqui? Dá pra entrar aqui? Tá parecendo que dava, mas não dá não. Deixa eu fazer uma parada aqui. Vamos voar, velho.
You expecting me to jump down after you?
Look at all of you.
Huh.
Back from the underworld.
Que isso?
Got pretty frantic on the comms towards the end there. But it sounded like this was a success. Got everything we need to put this plan in motion. Ah, best place for them. Now, my connection might have gotten a bit fuzzy there, but do I have it right that Vay Victus knew about this damn plant?
That's what it sounded like.
Guess the old Admiral must have told someone what he learned. Even he's not clever enough to pull off an attack like that from the great beyond. No ghost is that clever.
But it's clear someone knows about the plant and realized what... Captain, but in the interim, do you...
If it were me, I'd start.
Perfect. Once you finish your investigation, we'll meet you outside the...
Tá bom, então.
They're gonna want to hear. Take care of yourself.
Vamos ver pra onde a gente vai. Daqui fica onde mesmo, velho? Não lembro mais. Não, acho que não era nenhuma dessas, não. Ah, é aqui. Também não. Eita. Fica aqui? Também não. Olimpo. Mas, velho. Pronto agora. Sol não é, velho. Tá, o 7? Não, também. Não. Altair, eu acho. Também não, maluco. Mas que eu já abri aqui. É, maluco. Como que pode um negócio desse? Ou é aqui mesmo? DI. É. Tem nem ideia, maluco. Crix. Vamos pra chave. Bora.
I have things for you.
The key.
Dad, do you think Solomon Co. would have liked me?
Board is clear. Sure. Everybody likes you, don't they?
Lá vender umas coisas, né, velho?
You might be interested in.
Greetings, Captain.
Readings.
I don't trust shielding. I got secret compartments on my ship just in case.
Better to stop here than down on the surface of Suvorov.
Need something?
Heading out. Let's get you set up.
Vamos ver, velho. Fala pra mim se você tem dinheiro. E eu tô quase comprando, né? Um bom dano. Cadência baixíssima, mas... Dica de nenhuma missão, tô vendendo essas coisas. Tudo que tiver peso. Cara, pior que eu tô com pouca coisa pra vender, viu? Vender uns 10 desse. Vou usar esses trem, velho. Isso aqui. Pega. Pode pegar. Cadê a Sarah? Dá uns trem seu aí, velho.
Let's see what you've got.
Cara, tô pegando os negócios de vender. O trem dá 18 de dano, velho. Ah, vende esse trem também. Dois mag shot. Uma porcaria de arma. Tá bom, né? É um mag shot também. Vende esses trem tudo, velho.
Next stop, Cassiopeia, I assume.
Weapons. Weapons for all occasions. Whatever.
Vai acabar o dinheiro da pessoa rapidão, velho. Diferente essa pistola, né?
Done here? Fine by me.
O que você tem aí?
Just to make it quick.
Putz.
Whatever. My prices may be high. Now you're...
Então vamos lá. Acabou com o dinheiro da mulher. Eita. Vai acabar o dinheiro dela agora.
Don't be a stranger.
Bora voltar pra nave. Inventário. Guardar uns trem aqui, né? Por que eu não posso guardar? Então vambora. É que eu não posso guardar. Vambora, né, velho?
I have something for you when you have a moment.
Vender trem, né, velho?
Hey,
Ih, não tem.
what can I do for you?
Ah, vou guardar essa arma. O dano dela é alto, velho, mas a cadência é insuportável de chata. Pronto. Vou ficar com isso aqui, vai que é. Vou precisar disso. Minhas habilidades agora. Tem 2? Deus. Tem que pôr outras coisas aqui, viu? As armas boas que eu tenho são tudo escopeta, né?
We should make sure we're well supplied for the trip to Cassiopeia. Another day?
Subseção 7. Deve ter gente, outras pessoas que sabem que esse cara tá aqui, né, velho? Valeu, cara.
When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for? I haven't been to Londinian in many years. Why? Is there some way I could be of assistance? Were you able to recover what you were looking for? Good news, then. So, what exactly are you doing here? Plenty still... Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to... After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might miss it. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terrormorph attacks on Tau Ceti, New Atlantis, my doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I. Figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian. Learning to synthesize it. Use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing. Not a bad thought. But no. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found. But we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport. Fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's Terrormorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential. These were the final days of the colony war, Captain. The Freestar Collective had spies everywhere. I was concerned that if word got out, the collective could swoop down, start breeding Lazarus plants, and overrun our worlds with waves of terrormorphs. Just like what was happening on Londinian at that very moment. Sealing off the city to prevent mass death? It was the only option that made sense at the time. Simple to say now, but with the outbreak raging from a barely understood source, the moment demanded quick action. So I did what was required. I removed the dangerous variable from an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, and what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero.
Esse cara não é tão ruim assim.
Advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You.
Ah, então ele é do mal mesmo, cara. Tô achando que ele tá zoando. Então ele é ruim mesmo, tô ficando maluco.
Establishing a back channel to Orlays via the UC recovery teams was painstaking work. They believed they were luring in wanted criminals, but were in fact delivering precisely encoded slates, filled with instructions invisible to any, dropped off at just the right moments to fall into the proper hands. All without the UC realizing whom you were actually dealing with.
Que isso, cara?
But as you can see, ultimately effective. There are no heroes without a villain. I simply arranged the opportunity for us to overcome one and become the other. And we all benefited. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success.
Eita, nós.
And look at the results. I know for a fact the cabinet. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard?
No.
With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday. I'm simply looking for you to acknowledge the truth. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the terrormorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlays' role in the attacks to the cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the cabinet. Tell them that it was
Eita, velho, e agora, hein?
After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together.
Meu Deus.
And now many have you killed to get where you are now?
Eita.
There are no
Verdade, hein?
that don't cost lives, Captain. Whether it's winning a war or digging a tram tunnel. So we sacrificed a few dozen in the attacks to possibly protect millions. That seems like a fair exchange to me. I only hope you'll see the same and leave my name out of the discussions to come.
Olha, eu acho que o cara tá certo. Apesar dele ser meio ruim, ele tá certo.
Well, I do hope you'll keep the larger perspective in mind, Captain. We've done something great here. Let's not...
E agora, hein, velho? Sim, ele tem um ponto, realmente. Mas eu posso entregar ele pros lobos e tchau, velho. Porque realmente, se outras pessoas ficassem sabendo disso aí, poderia ter dado ruim, né, velho? Aí só ele ficou com esse conhecimento. E agora a gente. É. O que tá esse barulhão? Ah, é o elevador.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Aciles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terrormorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Any leads on who might have committed the attacks?
Ai, Deus. Cara, eu vou mentir, velho. E Deus quiser e vira alguma coisa.
Orlays? Reginald Orlays? He did this? I didn't think he was still alive. You're sure it was him?
I don't know much about Orlays, but anyone with a sick mind that needs to be tried for his crimes.
É, ele era meio maluco.
Dealt with appropriately.
That's some impressive work. So then give us the rundown. Where's Orlays now? Were you able to bring him in? Oh, Captain, I'm sorry. I won't pry any further.
Rapaz, eu tô mentiroso de marca maior, hein, cara? Meu Deus, velho.
Might be the best we could ask for, given the circumstances. So I guess there's nothing else to do but get this all in front of the cabinet. Unless there were other things we needed. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision.
Deus.
Aciles aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly.
Eita.
But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so the risk of introducing them to new worlds is minimal.
Ah, então beleza.
Using them to clean up the terrormorphs and lead. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Aciles, we're at least dealing with known risks.
Microbe is going to make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math, and a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0. So I guess we're still in discussion.
Huh.
Probably best at this point to let the cabinet weigh in, see if they have a preference.
Então vamos lá.
And here we go.
Ah, vamos lá. Vai ser eu escolhendo de novo, velho. Pelo jeito. Tenso.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better, but according to Hadrian's report and the second one I just received, it seems the Terrormorph attack on New Orleans is what I'm reading here.
Por que não pode usar as duas técnicas, né, velho?
An attack? Using Terrormorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did...
You want me to... Well, we believe that report to be correct, ma'am. Reginald Orlays appears to have committed the attacks.
Reginald Orlays? Wasn't there a report he'd been killed recently?
Body was found floating around Etheria. Report mentioned you were sent to try and bring him in, Captain. I guess that did...
Ah, yes. I was told about your mission, and who ordered it. Did you two suspect at the time Orlays might have been involved? Well, it appears you were ahead of the curve. This report contains definitive evidence Orlays triggered the attacks via this Lazarus plant the Captain and Major Sanan uncovered.
Simply heroin.
Indeed. Though it would have been preferable for him to have finally faced the UC's justice, it seems both of you are to be commended for ensuring he was dealt with before he could strike again. You have our thanks. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters.
Ixi, agora.
With the threads you brought together here, the three of you have likely spared thousands of lives. As such, the cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns.
A sound decision, Madam President.
Eita.
Well, luckily the natural hostility of Londinian makes keeping out trespassers relatively easy. But we'll ensure its growth is contained, that access to the plant is only permitted via highly regulated clearances, and that our troop presence on Londinian is increased.
Tell the Freestar Collective. Wow. So
I'm in agreement. I fail to see the value here.
Indeed. Open relations at this point would be critical towards maintaining peace.
É.
That is an interesting idea. A grand gesture to further display this cabinet doesn't think like those of the past.
The observers on Mars have proven such a gesture can bear fruit.
So, you want us to make nice with the Collective by sharing our state secrets?
No, I want us to display plainly the UC's actual intentions, that the plant will never be used as a weapon again.
That does sound worthwhile, Chief Kolkarn. Very well. We'll get the Thank you for the suggestion, Captain.
É, vamos ver se vai dar certo isso.
The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terrormorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps. The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terrormorphs will be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation.
Tá vendo?
Major, we've been having similar debates ourselves, but the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this
Meu
may not be
Deus.
your area of expertise, but we'd like to know
Eu
your
escolhendo tudo, velho. Tudo que eu escolhi de errado aqui.
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into unpredictable sciences.
Here's hoping they'll be kept on a short leash.
That, madam, is most certainly the plan.
Sarah
Order,
Morgan.
please. And Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Ah, é tudo minha culpa,
The
né?
matter is settled. We'll begin. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terrormorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD.
Nossa.
As befits such a group, the cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
It's a status reserved only for those who've
Que
dedicated
isso?
their lives to the United Colonies. Or Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is rather impressive.
Eita.
You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts, spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly.
Que
He
isso?
should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
Que isso? Legado forjado, né? Só se for forjado mesmo. É.
I
Virus
hope
is
we'll
gonna
work
be easy
together.
to place once we
Seem like a person who gets
wait and
results.
see.
Ai. Ah. Eita, nós.
of the parties responsible for this tragedy.
The UC military's lucky to have you.
Vamos lá falar com Toala. Que deve ser esse aqui.
Well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks. No need to thank me. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the... And the credits should be in your accounts. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Affilion Realty office.
Beleza. Acho que é bem ali, né?
It's a buyer's market right now. Well. In fact, the higher-ups want to thank you for your dedicated service by giving you... It's a premium penthouse at the top of Mercury Tower. Best look... What do you say? It'll just take a second to get you...
Tem interesse.
Great! You're in for a real treat. It's one of my... Okay, you're all set. Your new home's located in Mercury... You'll love the place. It has a gorgeous floor plan. Now that you're an owner, I'm sure...
Vamos lá, né, velho? Conhecer minha nova casa, maluco. Mentiraiada minha deu certo, hein? Agora tô na penthouse. Cidadão de primeira classe. Doideira, viu? Acho engraçado que dava pra eu ir andando aqui, velho. Que isso, cara. Agora sim. Uau. Não tem nada dentro, que eu tenho que fazer tudo. Mas olha o banheiro aí. Esse aqui deve ser meu quarto. Deve dar pra ver a cidade aqui de cima. Que isso. Aí eu vi vantagem, viu? Olha a minha nave lá.